Hey, Tay here, so welcome to the VR Tech channel, and here we are in another video featuring my impulsive buying for VR and AR stuff because I found actually something very interesting. This is probably the cheapest AR experience to date, and well, I couldn't resist it to pick it up, so let's discover it together, if it's any good, right? Let's get into it. So first of all, we'll start with something pretty unusual. Gonna start with the price because I bought this thing for $49.99 on eBay. But don't be stupid as me because on Amazon it's actually now $39.99, so it's even cheaper than that. So let's put our expectations down and let's see what is this all about. I want to notice though that this came out for $120 and even more, and I decided to pick up this instead of the Jedi version with a lightsaber because here we have two different controllers. Let's open this box and let's see what's inside. Alright, so for $39.99, what you're gonna find inside is pretty interesting because we have, of course, the headset that doesn't have any processor stuff inside, but you're gonna have to use your phone to display your experience. But fun thing, here you're gonna find two fisheye cameras for the tracking that are gonna track the beacon that we're gonna find also in the box, of course. And in here you have the battery to keep your battery of the phone up, and three different buttons, one for the share, one to select, and one to go back to home. So for something this dirty cheap, well, it's a lot of stuff that we find in this thing over here. Then we're gonna find a ton of batteries because you're gonna have to put the batteries in the two controllers, kind of the Valve Index controller vibe, and the beacon that, of course, as we said just 30 seconds ago, it's for the tracking. So the two cameras are going to track the beacon and we're going to be able to have like a 60 OF experience with that. So as I said, there are two different versions of these headset. There is the Star Wars version that is going to come just with one controller that is a lightsaber. So if you are a fan of Star Wars, well, having a lightsaber is pretty nice indeed. Or this is the Marvel version that comes with two controllers. The nice thing with the Marvel version is that you can play also the Star Wars games because you have a controller with the same amount of buttons. It's not really like a lightsaber, but to me looks pretty cool. Here we have two buttons, one would be like the trigger, one like the grip button, and then you have the thumbstick that is also clickable, and this button over here that is to sync the controllers or turn them on and off. Let me see. Here we are with the light. Well, the principle over here is very similar to the inside-out tracking for the tracking, of course, but over here we also use a beacon that gives a direction and you have to put in the middle of the room. Let's turn it on. All right. So actually it's very interesting because you have two different colors because if you have a friend with the same kit, you can play together with two different beacons. So each one will recognize a different color to then have a tracking. Pretty interesting indeed. Now, another thing that I want to notice though is these controllers are pretty small, so for sure the target is like more young fellows with smaller hands because these straps are really tight. So, well, just be aware of that if you have very big hands. And as you can see, I'm pretty much at the limit. But I'm just blown away by the functionalities that this super cheap stuff have. So let's take the headset, and first of all we have to open the lid over here and take out the tray where we're gonna have to put our phone. Now, there are many phone compatible. There's the full list on the box, by the way, but pretty much everything that fits in this little tray over here would be fine because you're not gonna use all the screen anyway. Just a part of the screen will come out, and then when you start the application, you can decide how much of the screen to use to display, of course, the content. So don't worry if you have one of the phones that are not really on the list over there, because if it fits inside here, well, you're gonna be fine because you can make it like manually without any problem indeed. So at the point you keep going, and then you have to insert that in your headset, of course. There's also here a little L-shaped cable because you're gonna be able to recharge the phone while using it, and there are three different cables in the box. One is with the Type-C, one with a lightning cable for iPhone users, and one with a micro USB. And you're pretty much in like this. and it's pretty cool. Probably you can see me in the reflection, and because this uses like a mirror to, of course, mirror it to your face. At the same time, though, you can see through the mirror, so I can see the outside world, so I can see the camera right now, and well, I'm kind of in AR. Let's see what's the experience. Now, the games with these are pretty basic, of course. You have the Marvel experience. You're gonna start like Thor, and then you're gonna start to use all the different characters, and there's like a storyline that you have to follow. Mostly, though, enemies are going towards you, and you have to kill them to get then to the next part of the story and to unlock different characters. That with the Marvel one, I actually prefer the Star Wars one, because over there, first of all, you have a lightsaber, and that's pretty cool, of course. And also, you have different kind of games. You have a real-time strategy game, more like a tower defense, by the way, that is pretty cool indeed, because you can see all the different characters from like episode 1 or the old episode, of course, they're the best, let's face it. And also, you have a lightsaber duels that are pretty cool indeed. And the holo chess, that if you are a fan of the old movies, well, you for sure want to play that game. That was on the Millennium Falcon. Now, the tracking with the beacon is not really the best. It kind of wobble a little while playing, and that's why for me they went for a AR experience instead of a VR experience, because at the end of the day, these experiences could work in VR without any problem. You don't really have any interaction because it doesn't really understand the world around you. It just understands where the beacon is. So if you put it very close to a wall, well, the characters are gonna be in the wall. Don't imagine to like go around the house and find like I don't know, droids that attack you over there. It's gonna be all around the beacon that is gonna be in the center of the area. So you really need a bigger area if you want to play like it's a realistic AR experience. But at the same time, I think it's a very clever workaround, because seeing outside, well, you don't get very sick if the tracking is not perfect. And that's why, for me, they went for an AR experience. So should you consider this? Well, as we said at the beginning, this is $39.99, so it's dirty cheap, even if I paid $49.99. And that makes it much easier to say, well, if you're interested to try a different experience, grab it. If you want something to, like a present for kids or stuff, I think this is a great opportunity, because they're gonna be able to feel like a Marvel heroes or like a Jedi with a lightsaber. So it's pretty cool indeed. And the fact that Disney is behind the development of these apps kind of gives you a good hint of the quality that you're gonna find probably in also future apps going on, because at the end of the day, now we have a platform that is ready with controllers, the beacon for the tracking, and the headset that just works like it should. So yes, I'm impressed with this for sure. It's not gonna be the final AR experience. It's really little about the AR, to be honest, but it's a great way to introduce people to the world of like holograms and stuff like that. And I feel like it's great that we have this kind of characters that we can bring with it to target a new audience. So if it's for a present, totally recommend it. Yeah, if you are a dev that probably know how to crack this stuff, it will be super awesome indeed. And I really hope that Lenovo is gonna open an SDK, so maybe in the future we're gonna be able to use also with super cool controllers to have different experience, because this is really low cost right now. But here, guys, let me know what you think about it in the comment below. Do you think that this thing about using just an headset for a particular purpose, just an app or two, is a way to go for the market if the price is really low, like we can find this right now? Because I think for sure that this is an interesting concept. Of course, it's not perfect by any means, but if you want a first AR or VR experience, well, for $39.99, well, why not? Of course, don't pay more, by the way. But yeah, as always, guys, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more of VR tech. And if you really love the channel, you can help support the channel with the join button down there, like with super cool people down here. We also have the t-shirts, and to celebrate 2020, that is the best year ever, there's also the mask with the Back to VR logo that you should check out for sure. But yeah, down in the description below, also this thing, if you are interested in checking it out. And well, again, like, dislike, subscribe. I see you guys next video. Thanks for watching.